All right. Good afternoon. Good morning, everybody. We are here with CAI, and this is our second presentation by CAI. Every year we run into them in the different boat shows, and I really am excited about Diogo showing us what CAI has evolved to on what new products they have available. So, Diogo, take it away. You have full control, and welcome to the Ocean Posse demo series.
Welcome, everybody. So we have a very short presentation, but clear on overall what CAI all about, and also our new products, new features, and of course, plans that we have for the future. So we have this presentation divided in three. We have a very brief introduction, a very brief as well overview of our product portfolio, and then we go deeper into the Watchkeeper series, which was designed for sailing vessels and also motor vessels. Finally, we have a few slides about new developments that we are working on and some testimonials and other important information. Starting with the very short summary of what CAI all about. We are smart cameras that focus on detecting, classifying, and alerting for anything floating that could lead to a possible collision. We use color cameras and thermal cameras, and we have AI embedded in our housing that does this image processing software that gives you this awareness. That's what we want to provide. We have been around for now 8 years, and we have a bit more than 1,200 installations worldwide. The process that all of our products have, and although we have different products for different segments, the core is always the same. We start by taking the camera inputs of our sensors. We run our software to identify everything that it's not water. We isolate these regions of pixels and we compare those with our database, which is embedded on the systems. This comparison will output a level of confidence for each class. And the classes that we have a slide a bit moving forward. I will show a slide with just about the classes, but the output that we expect from the software is something like the camera telling you, think this is this object that it's certain meters away from your vessel. It's a human with 60% level of confidence, or it could be a boy with 30% level of confidence, or maybe even a whale with 10% level of confidence. The class that has the highest level of confidence, and if it's above a certain threshold, we will present you as the classification of the object. If not, then we will present you an icon, a generic icon saying it's something. Now, the classification is important, but the most important thing in our process is the detection that happens before the classification, because the detection is the trigger for the alarm. In the end, we want to alert you for anything that could lead to a collision, not just other vessels or humans or boys. So we take this as if something, doesn't matter what, is too close to your vessel, we will alert you, and then you can act based on that information. In terms of classes, these are the main ones. So, of course, boats and sailing boats, ribs, motorboats, all of that, it's a huge class that we have, but also marine mammals like whales, dolphins, even floating containers, and of course, for man overboard situations, swimmers. Anything that it's not here will be classified as unknown. This is also common for all of our products, which is we try to focus in compatibility with the display that you already have on your vessel, so that the experience is very smooth. And for that, most of our products have compatibility with Garmin, Bruno, B&G, Raymarine, Simra, and Navico, and of course we have our own apps that you can use simultaneously. where you can, using your phone or your iPad, get access to the camera images and our user interface. In terms of us as a company, we have a worldwide presence. We are an European company. Our headquarters is in Austria. We have a hole in France, Portugal, and in the US, and now since December in Australia. And now we jump into our product portfolio. We have 4 main products. Let's start by the Watchkeeper. The Watchkeeper is the one that was designed for sailing vessels and also motorboats. It's a very small, compact unit that I will go deeper into it afterwards. We also have our Sentry. This is our flagship product for commercial applications, government applications, and also larger yachts. We have our Competition series, which is a very which is a niche product for the racing market, but it was designed for sailing boats that have a rotating mast. Because with this bracket here, we can compensate the rotation of the mast, having the camera always looking forward. And finally, we have our brain, which is just our software in this black box that you can connect to third-party cameras. Currently, we are only compatible with FLIR cameras, but basically the idea behind it is to bring our intelligence and our software to cameras that are already in the market. It's a plug-and-play solution. Now the Watchkeeper series. It's a very small unit, weighs less than 1 kilo. It's supposed to go and to be installed as high as possible. And it has up to two thermal cameras and always one color camera. It's a unit that was designed to be configurable so that the user can decide how many thermal cameras and the resolution of the cameras. Of course, this has an impact on the system's performance, and performance for us is range in terms of detection, and of course in pricing. For the sailing models, we have the Watchkeeper Lite 320, 640, and 1024. And the main difference between them is our entry-level one, the Watchkeeper Lite, does not have a thermal camera, just a color one. It has, all of the units have AI, of course, and the Lite was for sailors that typically sail during daytime only. And then when we start to add thermal cameras, we go for the 320, which has one thermal camera with low resolution. Moving forward, we have the 640, which is one thermal camera, but with higher resolution, and the Watchkeeper Sailing 1024, which is with the same housing, one color camera, and two thermal cameras, high resolution. In terms of performance, this is some objects for reference, but here the idea is as bigger the object, as further away we can see it. Of course, moving forward with the models, we get more range in terms of object detection, and more range means more reaction time. Of course, in terms of pricing, the price also increases according to the model. In the end, this is all about the budget and the needs that each sailor has. This is just a diagram showing the horizontal field of view of the different models. And this is an example of how the system works. So this is the color camera. Here we can see we have yellow targets, blue targets. This is the color one. You have 3 sections, or you can also see it like this, the ultra wide view. And this is the thermal camera. Now you have different colors in the targets because when you configure your system, you can define thresholds. You need to define 2 thresholds, one yellow and one red. Anything that it's between the vessel and the red zone will be a very annoying alarm. And that's the idea of having a red zone, which is it's too close. And this means that the captain needs to be alerted as soon as possible with a very annoying alarm until he acknowledges that he had seen what the system is reporting. Now, between the red zone and the yellow zone is something that will also trigger an alarm if an object comes to that zone, but the alarm is less annoying and it's more for awareness. Anything above the yellow zone will not raise an alarm. And this was, of course, made so that during the initial configuration, each user can define this threshold as they want. So if you are more conservative, you can increase the distance of the thresholds. If you feel more comfortable having thresholds a bit more short, it's also up to you. And for the motor series, it's very similar. We also have 4 different versions, same concept. The main difference between the Watchkeeper motor and the sailing one is that in the sailing one, we have a different vertical field of view because the systems should be installed on the masthead. And to avoid having blind spots between the vessel and objects that are too close, we have a higher vertical field of view to also cover that area. Now, it's the same concept. As bigger the objects, further away we can detect it and, of course, alert it. And the price is model is very similar to the sailing version, and also the technical specifications in terms of thermal camera, number of thermal cameras, and resolution of the same. And this is an example. On a motor vessel here, we were cruising at around 28 knots in a 7-meter zodiac, and you can see that we are going fast. This is during nighttime. And of course, during nighttime, the color camera only sees dark. And then when we switch to the thermal camera, you can see the power of our sensors. Just some final but important slides. The way that we position CAI is not as a replacement of other equipment. We see us in our technology as a complementary technology to existing sensors. Of course, we are smart cameras, so we give you the power of seeing what's going on. And of course, our software makes it easier for you to read the information. That's the goal, to provide this easy and fast to read awareness. But we also see value in the other sensors. So what we are working on, this is something currently in beta, is sensor fusion between our cameras, radar, and IAS all together into one platform. In this case, this is an example that you can see here, the field of view of the camera, targets coming from the camera, radar, and IAS. So each target that you will see here has a small icon on the top right indicating the source of the data. In this case, you can see that this object is coming from the radar. So what we want to do here, and that's the mindset of the company, is to use more data to give you more awareness and more robust object detection. And knowing that most of the boats nowadays have IAS or radar, we want to use it to make the experience more reliable. We have been around for a while now, so we have plenty of systems installed, and of course we have testimonials that you can look into the YouTube or other platforms. But we are very proud of the partners we have and also customers. So feel free to check on us what customers think about our technology. We really believe that we are making a difference here. And finally, because support is important, we have a worldwide network for support in terms of educated partners that can install our products, but also provide you with after-sales support. We have an internal service team ready to support you with wherever you need, wherever you are, 24/7. And of course, this goes for the installation part, but also for the after-sales. And that's CI.
Hey, that's great. Thank you so much. That's a great sum up. And of course, what a year it's been from you, because last year you only had one unit, one level, and now you've really expanded. Brian, who just joined us, I'm gonna say, hey Brian, I know you're driving. Have you had a chance to look at this?
Hi, Brian.
So I just installed a Axis uh, camera that's I forget the exact model, but it's a pan tilt zoom camera, and it wasn't one of the cameras you mentioned that you're partnering with. Is that something you might be engaged with in the future? And would I use one of your software, or how would I integrate your system with my existing brand new Axis pan tilt zoom camera that
Mhm.
has infrared?
Mhm. So currently, the best way to do it is just to wait a few more months. So we have a black box, our CAI brain, that it's bringing our technology to existing cameras. Currently, we are just compatible with FLIR cameras, but we are working on expanding our compatibility list with other brands. And Axis is on the short list for our next steps on that.
Well, thank you.
If you want to
I'm
replace
really
your
impressed with the Axis
camera,
camera.
if you want to replace your camera with one of ours, it's also not an option. But
Well, thank you. I thought of that, but the camera just is brand new and is
yeah, I
being,
know.
but it's something to consider. But I was thinking supplemental camera, or because now as uh, uh, Dietmar mentioned, you have more products and more
Mhm.
integration. So I might wait, but I'm intrigued with this, and thank you for working on this.
Well, yeah, I mean, Brian, the idea here is that, of course, we launched the brand because we know that we have users like you that, they just bought a camera or recently, and they don't want to invest in another camera. In the end, I mean, our biggest asset, in terms of our technology is the fact that we know that no matter how expensive a camera can be, if you are not looking at the screen, it's useless. So that's why our cameras, they have software embedded in that whenever something deserves your attention,